So one of the things that I'm going to be bringing is expertise. I'll give you a typical example. Most of us have a ChatGPT account on our phone. I know there are others that are using it, other platforms, but we all make the mistake of asking particular questions, and then the result we're not happy with. So most times, if you're a basic or first-time user of platforms like ChatGPT, and you're typing in information, what it's producing for you is what we term as hallucinations. For a very simple reason, that platforms like this were built using mathematical models, were built on algebra. Okay. So these platforms communicate in what we call tokens, not words. Okay? So if I went to ChatGPT and said, I'm King Weasley, I'm the king of radio, I'd like you to present for me an amazing script on a morning show for 9 to 5. It's going to basically produce for you what someone else in the USA, in the UK has actually punched in as gospel truth. However, if it were me, I would say, look, I'm King Weasley and I am the king of radio in Kampala. I'd like you to create for me, one, a master prompt of the kind of questions you'd like my audience to look at or to listen to. Then two, I'd like you to create for me also questions that our CEO would look at that would entice people to listen to the show, but also invite advertisers to the show. And then the other thing that you want to do is it's going to present for you curated lists of questions. The second thing that you want to do is, so basically what you've described there is what you call a role, right? It's a master prompt. Then you want to also introduce what you call a system prompt. A system prompt is basically asking the tool to say, look, from what you have provided me, can you provide for me the kind of output, if it were you typing this yourself, can you provide for me the kind of output you would be expecting to get if you were the one typing this? So what it's going to do is it's going to answer the questions that it has produced in the first prompt. Now, the third thing that you want to do is to customize it. So most of us speak and say, I want, this is what I'm looking for, this is what produced for me. Speak to it like you're speaking to your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your ex, your hater, right? And say, I'm someone who is 30 years of age, I am calm, I'm collected, I like to take life softly. I'd like to present things in a very organized way. Can you customize the content basing on this? Then what it's going to do is do this. Then the other thing that you also want to do is to say, can you present this in a canvas? Now, what we are doing on our phones or our laptops is we are using the chat section. That is to say, every time you ask or prompt it for something, it's going to produce that content. And then you ask another question, it will produce another piece of content. With the canvas, what happens is that it's going to split your screen into two. You're going to have a chat section, and you're going to have a section where it's going to iterate. That is to say, if you ask a question on one side, it will continue producing the content. But on the canvas, on this other side, it's going to remodel what it has already produced. Oh, yeah. And then lastly, you want to build a bot. Don't just save that information there and think it's going to be saved there. So build a bot, and for you to build a bot, you need to pay for the subscription. It's about $20, 70,000 shillings a month. Yeah. When you pay for that subscription, you build a folder where you're able to keep all this information, and then you can go back and chat with it. And guess what? If you build a bot right now, using the information I've shared with you, you don't need to go to a university to study prompt engineering, because companies are starting to realize that we can use paid versions of these platforms. Creators, entrepreneurs are realizing we can actually use these platforms to make money. Right now, there's a company in the US that is hiring a prompt engineer and paying them $10,000 a month. That means, and as I will demonstrate today, I've built 70 chatbots in ChatGPT, that if I sold those, someone who's buying them doesn't need to have a paid subscription, but I'm going to get the $10,000 in my account, and he's simply going to use them. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much.